Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and this is a question that I get asked a lot. I get it sent on Twitter, I get it sent on the emails, and I get it sent on YouTube private messages. Now of course you can tell the deep web is a popular subject on this channel, and you know, I quite enjoy viewing it, I quite enjoy browsing it, and people quite enjoy watching it. But the thing a lot of people ask is how do you get to the websites, and how do you come across some of the files that you look on the deep web. Now, if you look at the very first video, most of those questions should be answered. But as far as I said, the best way to find it is using IRCs and link lists, and I'm going to build upon that a little bit. I'm going to show you guys and gals just how to find the websites that I come across on the deep web pretty simply. Now, for the first thing, you definitely need a Tor. I use that primarily. You can use something like I2P, but there's a whole different set of subrules that you have to follow over there. You have to find EP nodes at that point, which is a whole different video, which is a whole different type of subject. It's the deep web, but it's a different facet of the web itself. As far as Tor goes, which is the more popular one, the more used version of it, the version that most people stick to, unless you need to find something really specialized, which you know exists on the other relays, but we're going to stick with Tor in this fashion. Now, to find the sites that I do, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the hidden wiki. I'm not going to link some of these sites because they do contain some less than legal material, and by linking it I could, you know, totally screw myself over if I do that. So I'm not going to give you links directly to these sites, but I'll give you a basic guideline, wink wink, on how to find link lists or robots or sites where they catalog deep web websites. Now, once you're on the hidden wiki, usually the most recent one, and I'll show you some of it on the screen right now, me browsing it, you're going to find some of these bots. One of the ones that I primarily use is Harry71. Now, way back when we were talking about the deep web, I mentioned how these sites are non-indexed, meaning Google can't get to them. Now, these sites run on the Tor relay, and they do contain the code necessary for spiders, which are little programs that run on the internet and basically catalog from link to link websites, right? For example, you know how Google captures websites as it goes to certain websites. It looks at all the links in those websites, it goes to those links, and it keeps on going from link to link to link to link to link until it eventually dies out. And combine that with, you know, viewer input and you know, websites actually being manually cataloged in, that's how Google operates. The deep web robots here function in a similar light. They'll go from link to link to link to link to link. They'll already use the built search engines such as Torch and whatnot to actually build a plethora of websites, which for the most part, when you browse these robotic link lists such as Harry71, most of them are actually alive. Now again, deep web websites go up and down all the time. It's the nature of that area, okay? A website that might be up 2 days ago, maybe completely down and gone 2 days later. That's just how it works. You have to be on point with this. That's why throughout the week, when I go through building a collage of websites to showcase for the deep web episodes, I go through every day, usually about half an hour, and I uncover sites through these link lists. Because the thing is if a site is there a day, then it's going to be gone the other day. But the beauty part about these link lists such as Harry71, these robotic link lists, is that they do the work without any real human input. Now, earlier when I first showcased the deep web, I came across a lot of pastebin files. I came across a lot of sites or lists which were actually built by people, you know, people who spent hours cataloging sites. But if you use one of these lists, you'll find out that most of them are in fact dead. You'll just be copy and pasting links, onion links that just do not work, mostly because when they cataloged those sites at the time, they might have worked, but as time went on, as years roamed by, those sites slowly got axed. And that's just the nature of how this place works. For example, one of the websites, the Human Experimentation website, which I showcased on the first, or I believe it was the second episode of the deep web, just didn't really, it never had a mirror, it never came back. It is completely gone as far as I know. There's no actual living mirror or link to that site that exists anymore. So, that being said, these robotic links will help. Now, Harry71 is not the only one. There's other ones that you can go to. There's a whole actual list of them if you go to a deep web website called under dir, which actually has like 71 link lists you can click through. And some of these ones are actually advanced to the point where they can tell you if they're alive or not. For example, one of them will actually show you a green link versus a red link. Red obviously if it's offline, or green if it's actually live. And that's how I find the deep web websites, and that's how it works for the most part. There's no real science towards it. A lot of people ask how they can first get into spelunking the deep web, and this is how you find it. Now I am going to give you one giant warning though, and this is a warning that I really want to stress. These link lists, for the most part, they do have a no child pornography policy on there. But some of them just index the sites, and because they don't have any real human input, they don't know what links or what sites are being sent to. Of course, you can report it to the actual webmaster of the site, but the thing is some of them are just completely unfiltered. So there are going to be sites where they don't have any of the header data, meaning that you'll see a link, but they don't tell you what the link contains, right? Like some of the links will be like, oh, well, here's Viagra pills, right? Because that's in the header data. But most of the time, the header data may be blank. So the thing is that you'll click on a site and you won't really know what's behind that link until it actually loads up. And you might come across things such as snuff pornography, or, well, snuff pornography in the terms of you'll come across galleries of dead people, right? Like brutal imagery. That happened like once to me. Or you'll come across sites that contain illicit pornography, right? Which is, a lot of sites, unfortunately, on the deep web do that stuff. And you might accidentally click into one, which, you know, please tread with caution. I'm warning you on that front. And click on the sites that usually just have the header data. You don't want to take a gamble on, you know, something like that. Or you'll come across sites that are a little too weird for the general consumer to browse through, and not in a good way, not in a very good way at all. And that's about it. Or just, again, you might come across a site that is very normal for the most part, but it's crudely made, so it just doesn't have the data around it, and that's why it's unfiltered. But again, you are taking a gamble on that. I do want to warn the audience who wants to browse the web, who wants to spelunk for themselves, to watch out for that kind of stuff. I'm giving you a big giant warning on that. Please be careful when doing that kind of stuff. As far as videos and files go, it's the same sort of premise. You might come across a file server on the deep web through these link lists that contain video, or they may contain some files that are a little too dank to show to you people, you know, government secrets, I guess you could say. I mean, that's just the nature of where you're on and what you're browsing through. But the other way to get these sites, and I've mentioned this quite a few times, is to use something called IRC, Internet Relay Chat. It's not as fancy as it sounds. It's basically the basis of how all chat rooms on the internet work. People on these IRC chats, the very populated ones, may be inclined to hand out onion links to sites that just cannot be indexed, and sites that are meant to be private. Again, if you showcase that, if you really get into these communities, some people may be willing to share, but then again, you don't know what these links truly contain. Maybe they could try to track you. Maybe these links are some really dark material that they're trying to fuck you up with. Who really knows, okay? Because you're just trusting human beings on that, okay? So be careful. That's the important part of this video. While I do highly encourage people to spelunk, I've seen a lot of people tell you not to go on the deep web because it's apparently very dangerous and you could die. Look, I've seen a lot of weird shit, and thank God I'm still alive today. I have never had any hitmen try to kill me or whatever happened to me, thank God. I am perfectly safe. I'm sure anybody else will be safe if I can be fucking safe. So don't worry about that. If you do care about safety, again, please do. There is a video that I will link you to, the do not use Windows on the deep web. I mentioned how not to use Windows and actually use something like a VM or, you know, Tails on a disk. Not, you know, Tails from Sonic, but Tails OS on a disk. And I've pretty much comprehensively discussed security on that video itself. So if you want to learn more about security, definitely click on that video. I'm not going to make another video on that topic because I've already made one. It would just be redundant at this point. But this video has pretty much covered on how to get you to numerous links on the deep web and to actually explore it. I do highly recommend people actually spelunk for themselves, explore sites, be your own person viewing it, okay? As much as you like watching the series, definitely be a part of it and look through this area of the internet that truly is fascinating and larger than our own internet and contained with tons of secrets that are yet to be uncovered. The reason why I enjoy deep web browsing so much is because it's like people that come across parts of the world that nobody else has ever seen. It's just first territory, it's like climbing mountains, it's like climbing weird areas in cyberspace, coming across some truly dank, weird, or, well, for the most part, normal stuff, really. And that's just why I love it, and I do highly encourage people who are interested on the subject to actually browse it for themselves, but again, be very careful. It's a lot like this game you're seeing on the screen, The Division. It recently came out, I do quite enjoy it. This game contains something called a dark zone. In the dark zone, you might come across things that are dangerous, but you might come across things that are completely normal. People that are a little violent than usual, or people that are just, well, your average normal people. And that's a lot what you'll see on the deep web. You might come across sites that are normal, some sites that are devious in nature, and the only way to truly be careful is to be on your guard and practice safety. And ultimately, that's the biggest advice I can give you. So I hope this video helped you learn, and that being said, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I have some interesting gaming videos coming out, that Russian hack that I downloaded recently. But that being said, this is me, Mutahar, and I am out.